us on with the rest of the agenda. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ian. Thanks for moderating that and driving the conversation. So we have a few minutes on the schedule to do a little bit of a wrap up and review of the just kind of the outcomes from the week. So I would love for any of the moderators, especially, to chime in. I did notice that I had started to go through and gather some of the follow-up items, and then I think Arne had pointed out that in the bare metal SIG Etherpad, a lot of them have actually already made their way in here. So thank you, whoever was populating this. It seems like there's 5 or so that have been captured across the days. And so, you know, if Mohammed or Julia or James or Mark or Ian, if any of you have any other things that you think are worth putting in here, or any of these that we should kind of like talk about a little more, feel free to chime in.
Okay.
Was that James going to say something, or?
Oh yeah, I was just saying, will do. I'm gonna take a look right now.
Okay.
I think to me these are all like pretty interesting. I think they're kind of like, we mentioned on the first day about the bare metal white paper that is also on this Etherpad, and I think, you know, that's a really great overview document that has tons of information in it. Seems like there are some opportunities here to create some documentation that's more specific and maybe, you know, especially something like the you know, now I'm not seeing it in here, but the one about kind of like the different I think it was on day 1. Let me see if I can find that. About the different, like a matrix of differences for, yeah, this one here. This could be an interesting living document, I think, as well.
That would have a lot of value to not just our community, but any community, really.
Yeah.
To at least have an idea of that, and somehow navigate the issues, or provide information on navigating the issues. What I would kind of really love to see is, you know, we discussed so many different things in so many different areas, and we haven't even mentally been able to kind of condense today's discussions in with this. But I guess I would love to kind of hear if anyone has thoughts, or maybe a poll or something where people can provide feedback on what they think is the most important, or like the top 2 things. Because I'm very conscious that we can't all go off and do everything at once.
Actually, a really good idea. Maybe Jimmy, do you think that you could put these 6 items here into a poll and see which things might be most interesting to start with?
Yes, sir.
Doing the same for the large scale SIG, where we only picked 2 goals as like not trying to boil down the ocean, but, you know, just focus on a very limited set of early goals, because otherwise just get nothing done and everyone gets frustrated. And so it's easier to just select 1, 2, or 3 things, I think.
I would even avoid 3, but personally, but at least 1, maybe 2, just things that we can go, okay, let's keep having this discussion. Let's see if we can figure out a plan of action, and at least some next steps. So I guess I'm looking forward to seeing polling data.
It takes a little while.
Yeah, true. It does take a few minutes.
And I would add, actually, I should go in. I should add the one that we just added.
I think that's probably a good idea.
Let me
And
fill
it-
that in right now.
I suspect it might end up becoming a focused subset, but we have to start someplace too, because it's kind of clear from the discussion that we need to work on it, improve the situation that we find ourselves in, and try and drive those commonalities.
And which one are you talking about from the end of the discussion just now around
Seeing if we can create some sort of automated security tooling or something to kind of make it more consistent and provide some of those control points and not control points, but more the tooling to help enable control point compliance.
So just to make sure I've got this, so we're talking about up to stateless and ephemeral bare metal workloads.
Yeah, and I think one more for the an open source project around automated security tooling. Ah, okay. This is trying to figure out the line that was on.
Okay, preparing to launch. It's multiple choice.
Are we going for two?
Yeah, but I don't think we should answer as if we want to influence. I think it should be what we think is the most impactful or most viable thing. Like if we were to set 2 goals for the next 6 months, what would they be? Or what should they be?
Well, the results are starting to pour in.
It's hard not to just pick everything.
That's not how prioritization works, James.
You could ask my team how I act with prioritization.
I can tell you how we prioritize. It usually involves some customer that escalates to some VP.
Squeaky wheel approach.
Yep.
I'm awful. I submitted 3 because I couldn't decide. I shall hang my head in shame.
Well, makes me feel better for doing the same.
What are the rules of the game? You can vote for 1 or as many as you want, or there is no numbering scheme, obviously.
2, 3, maybe 4.
You can vote for as many as you want, but voting for all of them ends up being the same as
Voting for none.
Yeah.
And I don't think the poll is sophisticated enough to do stacked ranking.
Although maybe that should be the next step.
Yes.
Hi, Zoom, can you please implement SIF's functionality? Thanks.
They're in a code freeze right now.
They can't put in a Condorcet polling.
No, not today. I'll add it to the list though.
Yeah, I mean, for the future, if you have some kind of weighted things, so you can have a priorities like 1, 2, 3. At least it will give us a little bit better, more information.
Okay, I think that it looks like the voting has slowed down. So I'm gonna close it in 30 seconds. So if you're sitting there agonizing over which ones to decide.
Just pick and go.
Okay, let's see the results here.
Well, we definitely see some winners here. Centralized matrix of firmware installation processes. That's very, very clear winner.
Not a very simple one to tackle.
Probably
That's
one
good.
of the more complex ones possible to tackle.
That's why it's valuable.
Right.
True.
Which is why it hasn't been done before.
Well, to my recollection, and Julie, you correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe we expose firmware management as a top-level ironic API.
We don't expose, we've exposed settings. Steps are available to, at least by vendor, to do firmware updates actions. I think kind of the issue is exposing versions in an easy way to at least convey that. I mean, I think inspector data does have that in it though, at least if it's available. And it might be that some vendors we can't actually see in certain devices.
It's okay. I mean, this is a clear winner, so I guess we'll have to go deeper discussion. What will it take to make it happen, or what can be done?
Yeah, I think one of the conundrums is just the variety of means and methods, and even packaging data and types for the stuff. So it's kind of, we almost need to create like a Venn diagram of cases and start with that.
Yeah,
and pick 3 of those and go from there.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can specify firmware per each individual component of the hardware device, or you can specify the overall thing, whatever the recommended latest and greatest. But if you start breaking it apart, then who knows what combinations will work, and also what are the processes in terms of getting to that specific version, because there is ordering between the components too.
And a dependency map that it results.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe the idea to start with is tracking known good versions and known tested versions. That make I suspect that would make 80% of people's lives better by just starting with that. But I guess in a SIG discussion, we can continue that discussion, trying to figure out what the best path there is and how people might access and use that data, or how we might be able to make informed decisions there.
We published when we published ready architecture, reference architecture, we published which version the firmware was used. Since it's a cluster, it's not necessarily a single type of nodes, but for each node type, we have a specific versions which were validated. And that's
I think part of it's also may also be that there are certain features that might behave differently or might work differently too, that may otherwise be fine. Like doing X action on Y version you might have 80% of your functionality or 90%, but this one command just behaves a little differently. And it might be fixed, but people should know that they should upgrade. Or at least what the best version to be on, or versions that are fully compatible. I don't know how we word it. That's for a SIG to decide.
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess it seems like in terms of the home for this follow-on work is the bare metal SIG the best place for this to be happening next. People have not been previously involved in that. Is that what they should start paying attention to, joining up with?
Well, not all of these things are particularly related to bare metal, not 100%. Like the security one, that's not bare metal. That's one that should flow back into other parts of OpenStack.
Oh, the security is
I
SIG,
agree.
but I don't think it covers this specific topic.
Yeah.
And maybe there's an opportunity for a larger discussion there, or just trying to figure out where we place that, or if we start with multiple places in the community as to where it would be good to have these discussions and try and raise this together.
Yeah.
This doesn't necessarily have to be one SIG.
Right.
Yeah.
Or one group, one project. Go ahead.
Right.
Sorry.
I suspect one of the reasons the security one hasn't been done yet is because you're right. I think it falls under a number of areas, and it kind of fell through the cracks.
Yeah, we can use pop-up teams to set up any type of work group that you're interested in forming to solve issues.
Right. Right, because I think it ends up in Neutron, at least to a certain extent, because that's what we're talking about.
It seems like Neutron probably originating from Neutron and then spreading outward based upon what we identify as the things that need to be controlled and audited and checked and all those various words.
Yep. No, I agree.
Jonathan, do we record the poll results somewhere on the Etherpad?
I put the polling order for each of the items that we had on the Etherpad here.
Not the percentages, just ordering. Got it.
Yeah, I didn't. Someone added the percentage for the number.
Yeah, I added the percentage on the one because I thought it kind of really highlighted that it was very popular.
Yeah. I got rid of the poll off of my screen, so I don't know how to get it back while I'm screen sharing. But
I took a screen grab of it.
Okay, we can add the percentages in there too. Well, so anything else? I mean, I think that this is a good set of potential actions and some indication on interest level at least, and it seems like that's there's maybe it's difficult, but it seems like it's worth discussing, especially this first one. Any other things that we didn't have on this list that we should write down before we wrap up the event and forget everything we talked about?
We mustn't forget what we talked about, but we also have Etherpads.
Yeah.
I really have nothing. Just I want to thank everyone for the last 3 days of awesome discussions.
Yeah, there's some great conversations.
Totally agree. And it was great. Yesterday, we had we had people who are making first-time connections, and that's one of the big values of having an open community, is getting to meet other people who are doing similar things, and then work with them, even though you're maybe not in the same org or city or country or whatever. So thought that was great to hear too. Well, with that, then I guess we can wrap up the wrap up, and thanks moderators for
You should mention the next one.
leading all the discussions. And yeah, I'm gonna let Ashley take it from here, and I'll just say thanks to everybody as well.
Well, thanks. Yes, so Beth is very excited about the next event, and so are we. We have a containers in production event coming up in August. That's just 2 or 3 weeks from now, so get ready for that one. You can register now at the website right there, openstack.org/opendev. There will be a link there and some more information. We already have a schedule up for that. So we'll be fleshing that out in the next couple of weeks. And then we have an Open Infrastructure Summit coming up as well. And everybody can attend this one because it is virtual, which is very exciting. And that'll be October 19th through the 23rd. And the CFP is open for that right now until August 4th. So go ahead and get your proposals ready, and we will get ready to review them. And then let's see, what do we have after this? So for this event, we'll drop a link in. We would love your feedback just around event logistics, topics, any feedback you have for us, we want to hear it. So we're dropping an Etherpad in right now. So go ahead and tell us what you thought of this event and any ways that we can improve it. We'd love to hear from you. And then we also had a lot of new people on this call. It's great to, make connections and everything. So if you're running OpenStack, please take the user survey. That is probably one of the most helpful ways that you can get involved and let the community know your feedback for the software so that we can actually implement it and make improvements. So that's really important. So we're dropping a link in right now. So make sure to fill that out when you have a chance. And I believe that's it. So we will hopefully see you at the next events. And thank you so much to all of our moderators and sponsors and everybody who joined. So with that, I will say farewell.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye now.